Good morning, students. How are you? And I hope you all are doing well. Today we'll be studying the chapter number 16, that is Say Goodbye to Pollution. As we all know, what is pollution? Pollution is actually the harmful activity that we does to the environment to harm the environment. Sometimes water pollution, sometimes land pollution, sometimes it's noise pollution, sometimes it's soil pollution. So varieties of pollution they takes place. So it is our duty to please take care of our environment, not to harm the environment, as it adversely affects our health also and our environment also, and due to this various diseases takes place. So let's just read about this chapter, that say goodbye to pollution. What is goodbye? Goodbye means saying tata bye bye, that is to avoid pollution. Just read this. Say goodbye to pollution. Pollution is the introduction of harmful materials into the environment. You can see that this is the introduction of the harmful materials that affects the environment. These harmful materials, they are called pollutants. Whatever the pollutants they affects our environment, they are known as pollutants. Whatever the materials that affects our environment are known as the pollutants. So there are different types of pollution. I have already told you in the surrounding, and we'll be reading about different types of pollution. So Miss Rashmi, she enters the class and all the children they stand up to greet her. Like the teacher, she used to enter our class and we used to greet her. Similarly, Rashmi, she enters the class and all the children they just stand up to greet her, to welcome her. Miss Rashmi, sit down, children, and this is a semicolon which is used to define when people used to say some words, or you can say some sentence. Okay. Children, thank you, madam. Ria, ma'am, what shall we study today? Ria is saying, ma'am, what shall we study today? What we will be studying today? So, Miss Rashmi, today we shall study a very important and a useful topic, that is our environment. We will be studying about our environment. What do you mean by environment? Environment means the surroundings, that is the happenings all around the planet. Trisha, what it is about, ma'am? ये किसके बारे में है, ma'am? Miss Rashmi, well, the environment is all about that we see around us. I have already explained you whatever the happenings, the surroundings that we see around us is actually an environment. It affects our lives in many ways. It is used to affect our life in many ways. The environment includes both the living as well as the non-living creatures. All the living creatures are us. All the non-living creatures, you can say, like table, chair, etc. Okay, and the living creatures they have life in them, such as the human beings, the plants, and the animals, whereas the non-living things like houses, soil, water, air, etc. That is, you can say that they are the living and the non-living creatures that are present on the earth. They surround our environment. If we live in rural areas, we have more spaces. They are saying that if we reside in the villages or in the district, then we have more areas, because over there people used to plant several trees. But plants and animals around us, yes, we can see plants and animals around us, but we expect to get more fresh air at that and in that area, and more sunshine, because plants and animals are there, because afforestation takes place in these rural areas very fast. Okay, to hail. But madam, if we live in the urban area, then what about there? If we reside in an urban areas are the areas like in our city. If we reside here, what we see that there are so many vehicles. People used to cut down their trees to build the tall buildings, the houses, etc. Miss Rashmi, oh yes, we live in towns and cities. I have told you that we used to reside in towns and cities, and here we saw tall buildings. Already told you, and crowded streets. And there are so many crowded streets we can see, because the vehicles they are moving here and here. As a result, there are very few open spaces and trees around us. As we see that there are very few open spaces and trees around us, we have to go to the park to play and get very little fresh air and sunshine in our homes, because the houses in this cities they are very congested. We can see that there are so many flats, they are just adjacent to each other. Children, the place we live in, it affects our health a lot. As we reside in cities, so it affects, this effect is actually verb. We need fresh air, pure water and sunshine, and we want to be healthy and happy. हमको क्या चाहिए? Fresh air चाहिए, अच्छा पानी चाहिए, so that our health will be very good. Palak, then what should we do for all this, ma'am? What all activities we can do to get fresh air, fresh water? Miss Rashmi, first of all, we must follow cleanliness. We must follow cleanliness. We should be hygienic. We should not throw garbage outside our homes. We should not wash dirty clothes in the water, in the river water, because it somehow it comes to our place only. Okay, we must keep our houses clean. Always keep the household garbage in the closed dustbin, that is, dispose the garbage in the closed dustbins. Okay, the drains should be kept covered. जो नाले होते हैं, they should be kept covered, so that the mosquitoes, they don't get breed inside the stagnant water. And never allow water to collect in the ponds and puddles and drain it properly. They are saying that never allow the water to get stagnant at one place. What do you mean by stagnant? To get stick at one place, because if it will get strict, then definitely what happens, mosquitoes, they will breed on that stagnant water, and somehow diseases like malaria, dengue, typhoid, they all spread across the planet. Rohan, is that all about our environment, ma'am? He is asking to his teacher. It is all about the environment, ma'am. Miss Rashmi, no, that's more. That there is still more to do it, still more to know about it. Besides cleanliness, besides means in addition to. See, there are two words. One is beside. Beside means mere piche, and besides means in addition to. इनके अलावा भी दो चीजें और हैं, दैट इज कंजर्वेशन एंड पॉल्यूशन. They are also very important. Conservation, by and conservation, you mean that wise use of all the natural resources, that we should use our natural resources very wisely. We should not waste the electricity. We should not throw the garbage unnecessarily on the land. We should keep it in a closed dustbin, so that when the kuda gadi will come, when the garbage vendor will come, we will throw the garbage inside that car only, inside that kind of a dustbin only. And we should utilize our natural resources like water, minerals, and oil, as well as the human resources, that is electricity. I have already told you that we should use the resources very wisely. And if we use them carelessly and waste them, one day what happens, things will be damaged. If we won't be using all these resources in a fruitful manner, then one day what happens, it will be vanished and it will become short, लेस हो जाएंगी वो. Plants and animals हमारे natural resources हैं, and we should take care of them. We should take care of plants and animals, because through plants and animals we are the one who get our what, who get food, who get fruits, who get vegetable, who get milk, all the dairy products we all get from plants and animals. Dev, madam, you didn't tell about pollution, ma'am. You didn't explain about actually what is pollution. Miss Rashmi, well, pollution is so simple to understand. Human and animals, they make the air, water very dirty by using different activities. By using the different bad activities, it adversely affects our environment, and this is how water and air pollution takes place. So we call it pollution. The dirty air and water, they are unfit for breathing and drinking respectively. See, the dirty air, that is unfit for breathing. First, air is used for breathing, whereas the water is used for drinking. That is why respectively is used, because the first word is mentioned for this and the second word is mentioned for this. And if we breathe in impure air or drink water, we may fall ill. They are saying if we will breathe the impure air and if we will drink the dirty water, then what will happen? Diseases will take place. And look at this picture to know that how people spread pollution. You can see this picture, that how people used to spread pollution. They are making their animals bath in the river, right? And they are washing their clothes inside the river. You can see there. This is the smoke. You can see the smoke coming out from the vehicle, then this is air pollution, water pollution. Tanya, in this picture given on the page before, mill chimneys, cars, scooters, and buses, they all are spreading smoke. You can see that all the vehicles, they are spreading smoke. And Vani, and some people and animals, they are bathing themselves in a river, and that makes our water dirty. And we can see that they are washing their clothes, they are washing their animals inside the river, which makes them water pollution. See, this is again the possessive pronoun, themselves, himself, ourselves. Yes, Rashmi. So children, always take care that the air and water near your homes must remain clean. That the air and the water that we used in our houses, or you can say nearby, they should be clean, so that diseases won't be spread. And in the same way, loud music and too much noise are, they are harmful for our ears. Or too much noise and you can say too much loud music, they are harmful for our ears, because it basically affects our eardrum. and they irritate us. और वो हमें क्या करते हैं? They makes us irritate. When you talk or play music, systems keeps the volume down so that others are not disturbed. You should always keep the volume of the music and the sound always low, right? Because they irritate others and they can disturb other, on also they can affect our eardrum. And live a healthy life and let others do the same, and live a healthy life and others will do the same. Children, okay ma'am, we will do it from today. From today we will be keeping in mind all the things that we should not affect, that we should not harm our environment. So from this chapter, this is a very basic chapter that you should all study, and you should all know the facts that you should not do such odd activities to affect your environment. You should do afforestation. Please switch off the electricity, lights and fans whenever you are leaving your classrooms. Not even your classrooms, even your rooms also, right? Should save electricity, because if you will not save all these things, then our future generation will be in difficulty. Okay. Second thing, never use polythene bags, always use paper bags. Do not pluck the trees, do not cut the trees for tall buildings. Please plant as much tree as you can, and wear mask while you are outside. And if possible for all of you, then please ride bicycles instead of using the vehicles, because it makes our body fit, and it will not harm our environment also. And please do not do any odd activities inside the rivers, because it somehow it will affect our health. So that's all from my side, and I hope you like this chapter. Please keep studying, stay hydrated. Thank you.